We are the keepers of the flame, the sacred order. Let the ceremony begin. And today, faithful acolytes, we take a look at this. And what this is all of the Taco Bell sauce packets. And so before we get into trying them, I wanted to give you guys a look here at the white point rather than having a zillion spoons. So we can see the Diablo is much more of a thicker red-orange sauce. The Fire is a lot thicker and darker than the other two. Mild and hot are almost the same. We've all seen these before, of course. We've got witty sayings, I like, of course I will. Too bad you're not single. Always the plan. And let's just empty all these here, guys, so you can take a closer look. So there's the mild right there. And the mild and the hot are very, very similar. Now, personally, I think you can see this one's a lot gloppier, the hot over the mild. And I'm presuming it's got chunks of stuff in it. We'll get to the labels here momentarily. But you can see there are a lot of chunks of, looks like spice in there. This one is a little bit more gelatinous. Let's take a look at the Fire. Fire is more gloppy, and you can see it's much, much darker. It's more like a ketchup. And this is this Diablo. Get that over there. Now, of course, I did 2 or 3 of these in chip form. Did the Fire, the Diablo, and Reaper Ranch, guys. You can check that video out. It is in the FOH Everything Else playlist. And here's the Diablo here. It looks like just a thicker version of this visually. So let's take a look and see how they do running down the plate. If it's a race, mild is probably going to win this. Yeah. And you can see the other two are a lot less viscous. And of course there's chunks in both the Fire and the hot. Does not appear to be any chunks at all in the Diablo or any chunks at all in the mild. Alright. I'm just going to use my fingers, guys, to taste test these so you guys can take a look at a little reaction to these sauces solo. Of course, most of us have had these over and over again, and we all have our favorites. Mine personally is the one on the left, the mild, because I think it's a very versatile sauce. It is by far the best tasting, to my mind, of any of these sauces. I actually keep that on hand for ketchup and things like that, but we'll be getting to these on food momentarily, but first let's take a shot at these solo. Okay, up first is mild. Just gonna get some on my finger, like so. So mild is like a liquefied chili powder to me. There's a reason that you see chili powder everywhere. It's pretty ubiquitous. Very flavorful, very solid, but no spice. Quite boring. And so here we're going to take a look at the hot. Now the hot, you can see sticks a little bit better. Here we move away from a good flavor. There's no heat, still no heat, but the flavor is it's a little bit more astringent. It's somewhat more, I would almost say sourish. It's got a pungency to it I don't honestly care for very much. Fire and Diablo are relatively new compared to the other two anyway. So let's take a shot here at, this is the Fire. You can see it is very thick. Fire is very good. It's got a warmness to it that kind of reminds me, it's got a little bit of earthiness to it. It kind of reminds me a little bit of like pico pico hot sauce. That type of a taste. Again, still no heat. But that one, it's a slight bit of bitterness to it. There's a sauce at Rubio's that has the chunks of the blackened pepper in it. And I don't recall the name of that now. And that is a good tasting sauce if you use it in other stuff. But this reminds me of that. It's got that bit of bitterness to it. And of course, last and possibly least, we have the dripping Diablo. So here's Diablo. And it is thicker than the mild, probably pretty close to actually where the hot is. Ew. Ah. Oh, no good by itself solo. It's got there's a flavor in there that I'm gonna have to look at the ingredient panel, guys. We'll do that next. There is a flavor in there that I really dislike. It reminds me of like a bad Malay, and we'll see if we can pull it in and I can figure out what that is, but that is not enjoyable. This one is the only one that's registering any slight bit of heat at all, the Diablo. So there's not, even still, there's nothing there, nothing that is going to give any chili head any kind of pause. But let's just whip through the ingredient label, guys, just for fun. Okay, so let's start with mild, and let's see if we can bring this in a way that we can actually read it. Let's see here. Okay, here's the mild ingredients. You can see there's less than 2% chili peppers, hence the coolness. Take a look at hot next. I mean, all right, can we pull in the hot? Here we go. Jalapeno from concentrate, and that's about it. Fire! Okay, we've got fire and jalapeno. And Diablo, let's show them. Let us do that indeed. So, trying to find where's the chili? What? Is there not chili in this? How do you have a Diablo without chili? Well, it doesn't specify the chilies. I'm guessing the chilies are probably buried in spice or something, but this has I don't even know how to quantify this. This has a certain degree of it just has an oddness to the flavor. So, all right, guys, we've got a bag right here, Taco Bell sundries, and we've got. Let's do it this way. There we go. Okay. Now, I'm not just going to sit here and eat a whole bunch of fast food in front of you. There's videos out there like that, I understand. And if that's something you guys want me to do someday, give me a holler, let me know. Alright, so let's do this. This is going to be the Diablo. And I'm just going to put the sauce packet right here, guys. So when I switch over, you guys will be able to see. So we'll be able to tell which is which. And okay. These are just standard soft shell tacos, nothing too special here. So let's throw in the fire. Okay, fire, Diablo. Alright guys, so this one, I don't like the flavor of hot. I've had
hot numerous times in the past. So I'm just going to put a little bit on here, right at that edge, and we're going to put the mild on the same taco. Now I got bean burritos also. I don't think I'm going to have enough sauce left for those. So we'll skip those. We're just going to go straight with just soft shell tacos, guys, and just run with that. And like we always do, guys, what we're going to do is I'm just going to go, I think I'm just going to go coolest to hottest. So let's take a shot here at the mild. It's a very familiar taste to me. I don't use Taco Bell sauce anymore for really anything, but I've used it in the past as a salad dressing by itself. A number of different things. So the mild is no real heat, but the flavor is just, it's something that you've known, you know, because you eat it hundreds and at least hundreds of times. I got a touch of the hot in there also. Those two in combination are actually pretty good together. There's no real great difference to the hot. Once I'm fully into the hot now. Tacos today are particularly dry, which is somewhat helped by the hot sauce. Here we have fire. And let's see what fire's all about in here. Open over and do this. Oh. This is slightly more tomatoey, but the flavor is very funky. I don't like this. This is going to be one of those times I just have to power through it, so I'm going to power through the rest of this. And of course, guys, last but not least, Diablo. It's almost like there's a slightly burnt flavor to it, like they're trying to go for, I think they're trying to go for Chipotle. Which I guess kind of works with the idea of Diablo. Scorched peppers, right? Diablo, devil, hell, and so on. This is not a good sauce. Oh, man. I'm struggling here. Mm-mm. Oh. Ah. There's a bit of a citrus attempt, and it's funky. I don't like it. But I thought this would be kind of a fun video to do, where I go through some of the normal stuff I might have for lunch, but I almost never eat their sauce.
I almost never eat any of them. Del Taco, there's another chain locally called Taco Time. I'll be doing both of those two, by the way. In future videos, I'll be doing Del Taco and Taco Time, guys, so you can just get a look at all of them. So no favoritism or anything like that. So this is the only one that was any good. This mild sauce. But mild sauce might as well be ketchup. And I think the flavor is better than everything else. I don't think it's great, but in comparison, it's definitely the best of the lot. I have a lot of people that ask me a lot. They say, well, you like hot stuff, you like spicy stuff, you chili head, why do you just get mild? And again, it all comes back down to the whole point of this. Well, why do we do any of this? It's not certainly to send our digestive tract into a revolution because we're pouring gallons of extract down or anything like that. Actually, you'd probably die, but it's not to send our bodies into revolution because we're putting questionable content into our bodies. That's not the point of this. And the point of this is not to see if we can scorch our mouths to the point where we can't be comfortable for hours at a time. Not to mention the esophagus and everything else. That's not the point. The point is to make this taste better. The point is to have some flavor. And for those of us that like heat with the flavor, flavor is still there. Flavor still needs to be a component of that. That's what this video series is about anyway. It's about the flavor. The flavor is most important, and that's why I continually go with the mild sauce, because the other ones are honestly not very good. The mild isn't great either. You know, let's be honest. I can open my refrigerator door and I can grab at random a handful of sauces that would be better than that, and many of you probably do as well. But just comparing what the fast food chain has available, the mild is definitely the clear winner here. Anyway, that's going to do it for our look at the Taco Bell hot sauce packets. Now go forth in peace to serve the flame.